Welcome everybody here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is Andrew Valentin, and I hope you're all having a fantastic Friday. Cause I'm not. It's
What do you mean, man?
Why
We're having
not,
so
Andrew?
much
Why
fun
aren't
today.
you having a great Friday?
it's just blood pressure's up.
You know, your blood needs to circulate every once in a while. It's got to get to all areas of your body. Then you don't get like.
If anybody else could please talk right now, that would be that'd just be wonderful. I love every one of you in the back, including the one right now that is just making my blood boil. But man,
Hi.
oh man, wow, I have not felt like this in a while. What was I saying? Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing good. We're coming to you live here from the Illinois Media School here in the O'Hare campus. Back, everybody, is the Boom Crew. We got Bijan, Antonia, we've got Jessica, we've also got Julius, Big J, and Nick as well. Yes, Nick is here too.
No, there's no camera.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Julius is still for sale, by the way.
No, because I already have to look at one. I already have to look at him already as it is, and I can't. No, don't you dare! Do you sit back down? You sit back down. Sit. You sit.
I was turning on camera 4.
Sit. You sit.
I was turning on camera
Just sit. And we have Scotty's here too.
Hi, everyone.
Oh my God. Yeah, so obviously there's been a lot of news. Last week we couldn't go, unfortunately. I had some urgent things to take care of, and I still do to this point as well. But I figured we still have some time, so I wanted to do a quick show. Answer some of your sports questions that we have, answer some of your other questions as well that may not even just pertain strictly to sports, but I thought it'd be good to answer some of these questions while we have them. So real quick, though, obviously, again, thank you to you guys so much for obviously asking these questions. Sorry, my brain is just, whew. Thank you, everybody, for so much for asking all the questions and everything. We do appreciate it. If you have any more questions, please hit us up at xbsportsofficial@gmail.com. As always, we love and appreciate you guys, the questions, the comments, the things like that. It means a lot to us when you guys are able to ask that stuff, be it sports related, unsports related. We always have a lot of fun with it. Some of you guys obviously ask some very goofy questions, and we always have some fun with them.
And we're here for the shark documentary and, learning about fish and how they sleep, all that kind of jazz.
Don't worry, I got it.
No!
Who is talking? I don't even know anymore.
It's a ghost. It's a ghost. It's a ghost.
It's like the wind, but it's like a sharp spearing noise in my ear.
It's a gassy wind.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to these fan questions because it's been a very long day for all of us, and some people need to travel. Some people need to have a couple shots or 5 or 12.
I'll take a bottle.
Yeah. You know what? I might need a couple. Let's answer these questions though. So again, thank you guys so much again for the questions. We do appreciate it as always. So first one we're going to start with. This comes from Nathan. Nathan is from Chicago, Illinois, and he says, "Hey, Andrew, what's the deal? Why do you hate so many good things in life? What is it about Justin Fields that you hate so much?" I figured let's just answer this. First off, I don't hate the kid, okay? I don't hate Justin Fields at all right? There's nothing about the guy that I hate. I just have many questions about him that pertain to how he's been playing as a quarterback, okay? So, Nathan, I don't hate him, okay? I don't need your snarkiness, just like I don't need somebody else's snarkiness that's back there. But I'm going to try and keep this in my hand as best I can, but listen, I don't hate Justin Fields. I think he's a talented quarterback. I think he's a guy that, for many, obviously there is a lot of good traits with him that you can still provide in the NFL, that he can still utilize as a quarterback in the NFL, be successful. And I think it's important to acknowledge the fact that, yes, he is a talented individual that can certainly still excel and grow and be potentially that franchise quarterback. I just don't know if he's ever going to be the guy that will change your franchise completely for the better or different or whatever you want to call it, right? I don't know if he'll be the guy that he can step in when the team is looking very weak, when things are kind of down, right? Guys aren't really catching the ball, and he can make those extra plays. As an athlete, he certainly can. As a quarterback, it's a completely different. I think that's a completely different thing. I understand the stats. I understand that there's growth. I see the growth. I agree with people that it is there. It's just one of those things where if you saw it on the chart, I think it would be more minimal than it has been actually like a shot upwards. Like we've seen guys really take giant leaps from year 1 to year 2 to year 3, right? I mean, Jalen Hurts is maybe one of the best examples. That guy's a second-round pick, and he's going to the Super Bowl by his 3rd year and looking like an MVP by that point. Now, obviously, they had a setback this year, but I think it's worth noting that I don't hate good things. I think people hate good things like Caleb Williams. I think people are hating on him because I think a lot of things came easy to him. He's a good-looking dude in L.A. making a lot of money. So I think there's a lot of people that are looking at him being like, I'm envious of this guy. I honestly think it's a lot of envy with people when it comes to that quarterback. I think there's a lot of people that look at Caleb Williams and they believe that, well, hey, you know, life came to him so easy. Well, why can't it come to me easy? Well, listen, life doesn't come easy to all of us. He had some moments, had some breaks, he had some successes, but at the end of the day, I can't find anything wrong with him. It's a lot of the things that get talked about for him are speculation. I think a lot of it has to do with his father. I think a lot of it has to do with media driving a story. I think a lot of it is more fabricated and speculative than actual true, this is fact evidence being put in front of us. Again, I'm not taking anything away from Justin Fields. It's a matter of I look at Caleb next to Justin Fields and I say they're both at the same level, but one's in year 3 and the other one's graduating from college. Well, not even graduating from college. He's leaving and going to the pros. So by year 3 for Caleb Williams, I think the kid's could be something. But again, that's all speculation too. I have no idea. None of us have any idea if these guys are going to be good or not. We're just going based on what we've seen in terms of, you know, on the field in college, on the field in the NFL. You know, we're saying, well, not the right offensive coordinators, not the right head coaches, not the right system, not the right receivers. I mean, at some point, it's going to come down to, well, can the quarterbacks play? I think they can play. I just don't know if Justin Fields' best comp is ever going to be Lamar Jackson. I think he's more on Cam Newton. Not a bad comp. Michael Vick. Not a bad comp. I would say he's, I think, a better version of maybe Tyrod Taylor. Those are MVPs. Yes. Well, one's an MVP. I mean, Michael Vick during his Falcon years, he was a hell of an athlete, but he was never really a great quarterback. You look at the numbers, that says it right there. You look at his passes, he overthrew guys by a mile a lot of times. And Cam Newton, I mean, wins the MVP. They go to the Super Bowl, but in the Super Bowl, he breaks down. Defense finds a way to stop him. So, again, this is nothing against Justin. I don't hate the kid. I think he's a talented guy. I don't see special with him truly. I see decent, I see good, but I don't see special. And in the NFL, to be able to compete, you need special, and I'm looking at Caleb, I'm looking at Jaden, and I think those guys exonerate special. I see them protruding special coming out the wazoo. So that's me, though. That's me. I know there's other people out there that are obviously going to have other standards, and they're going to look at other things, so I understand. Scotty, do you have something to say?
I mean, I have more problems with Caleb than you do. I mean,
Okay, but in what sense, though?
I think his dad is a massive problem, and his whole
Yes.
camp is a massive problem, and you're like, oh,
Not
I
having
don't
an
really see
agent,
any
your father-
problems.
yeah.
That's a big problem.
Yes.
When his dad is going to teams that may draft him and
About that
going,
ownership.
yeah, can I? How much ownership are you going to give my son? You know, that's not going to happen.
First off, that ownership stuff was created by his little media conglomerate group that was never, ever known to be Caleb Williams saying that. So we have to be careful with that stuff because that was driven, I think, out the wazoo. Again, I think that was a lot of media fluff. That was a lot of drama being trying to build up. I think, if anything, that's his father, again, Carl Williams, trying to say, like, hey, man, if he's going to go to a bad team, he should at least get, like, a percentage of the team. And then, of course, it comes out and it says, the representatives of Caleb Williams say he wants a stake in an NFL team,
Well,
which is just ridiculous.
Have an owner or an agent, basically his dad is his representative of him.
Right. But that doesn't mean that he's Caleb saying it. That could just be Carl Williams speaking out of turn. I guarantee you the whole Colin Cowherd thing where he said, well, Caleb doesn't want to go to the Bears. That's because Carl Williams probably told Colin, hey, he doesn't want to go to I'd rather him not go to Chicago, which I think Colin then read, oh, it's Caleb doesn't want to go to Chicago. Yeah. And then they have to redact that because it's like, well, wait a minute. Now he wants to go to Chicago because he wants to probably be the number 1 pick. Now, I mean, I think Carl Williams wants him to go to Washington, but that's because he wants him close.
Yeah.
It's the LeVar Ball effect. I want my son next to me, but how did that work for Lonzo? Lonzo was bad in L.A. And when he goes to New Orleans, what is he? He's an all-star. He comes to Chicago. I mean, if he doesn't get hurt, who knows where the Bulls are at right now?
This is true.
They were first in the East when he was running it.
Not in the play-in, that's for sure.
Yes, not in the play-in.
They're not in the play-in. They're way above.
Yes,
that
I would agree with
if
that.
he's playing.
This would maybe be, who knows, maybe an NBA title would be in Chicago. Let's not kid ourselves up.
But guess what? He can't run right now.
Right.
We're in a great situation.
Of course. But even still, I think a lot of this has been drummed up by media, by his father. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, give the kid a chance. He gets drafted by Chicago. You going to stop being a Bears fan? I don't think so.
No.
Exactly.
My season tickets speak for themselves. I will still go to all the
See, there you go.
Did I tell you
There
how
you
much
go.
I love you?
Yes.
Great seats, by the way.
Thank you, Bijan.
They're good.
But that's the thing is that no one's going to stop being a Bears fan just because Justin Fields goes to Atlanta. If that's the case, if you really love that guy, then you follow him. That's okay. You can follow him. I'll do it for Joe Burrow. I'll do it for Joe Burrow all day because I love Joe Burrow. But, you know, at the end, I mean, that's the thing. It's like I'm not hardened to one team, though. If you are, that should be your team no matter what. That's how I view it for fanship. You have you have multiple options, I would say, but those are 2 big options that you have. You can follow players or a team. I like to follow players more than team because following a team it makes me feel like I feel right now where
Take Skyline Chili out of Cincinnati before they take Joe Burrow out.
Exactly. Don't you dare take Skyline Chili out of Cincinnati. That's a great chili.
Kind of hard being a team fan in Chicago.
It is. It is. That's why I've disowned all but the Bulls. For some reason, I'm holding out hope on that team. But I may go San Antonio soon because Victor Wembanyama is pretty. Man, he's good.
You're not a Hawks fan?
What?
You're not a Hawks fan?
No, after that whole Kyle Beach thing, that bridge is well burnt. I read that whole article. We're done. We're done. I don't care if they are coming back. I know everybody's out. We're not doing that. That's over with.
Bedard.
He's good though. I'll give him that. He's good. All right. What? You had something to say?
Me?
Yeah. Were you saying something?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just making sure.
You made this Connor Bedard levels of awkwardness.
All right, Nathan, thank you for the question. All right, we move on to the next one. So this came from Jason. Jason is from Cedar Rapids, and Jason asked us the question. He said, I want to get your thoughts on NIL and the transfer portal. Where are your thoughts on it? You guys seem to like it and love it, but do you think there's going to be a problem with transfer portal and NIL coming forward? Do you think the NIL could potentially ruin it? I don't think they're going to ruin it. I think they just need to put rules on it because it is pay for play right now. It's getting a little out of hand. It's getting ridiculous. Look, teams are definitely looking to try and adjust and try and figure out and build however they want to and things like that. So I understand it. I get it. I know that there's a lot that they're trying to bend, find out, figure out. But at the end of the day, I have no problem with NIL and transfer portal. I just think there needs to be rules and regulations put into place. Now, early signing day for football is getting put into place ahead of time for the transfer portal and everything. It's being put into December, which I think is a good move. I think it's a great move for them to be able to make. So I like the fact that they're being able to do that. NIL, it's obviously getting out of hand. It's a lot of money. There's a lot of situations going on there. There's a lot of cash that's going to be thrown around to a lot of different players. So I have no problem with it at all. I don't think it's going to be an issue. I don't think it's going to be a situation where it potentially busts college football or anything. I mean, this is the way it goes, right? You have to pay these kids. You have to pay these players. You have to give them an opportunity to be able to make money, just like you would these coaches, just like you would anybody. So I'm okay with it. I like it. I'm of the mindset that I think keep it going. Just there has to be some sort of like regulation on it. And possibly we could be heading into the level of maybe even looking at something in the level of what we see with, like, if you know soccer's got its transfer fee kind of situation where if you're going to be a player that transfers, a school may have to give something back in terms of the money they've invested in one kid, a percentage back to that school potentially. So it may be having to go in that direction where, okay, if you want to transfer, fine, then the school's going to owe us $50,000, $90,000, $100,000, depending on obviously the size of the player and the percentage they want to take. So I'm on that side of things. I don't know how anybody else feels on NIL and transfer portal, but you can hit your thoughts if you want, guys. I mean, I'm okay with it. I just think there definitely needs to be the rules and regulations pushed into place.
I'm in the same boat. I like NIL. I don't really like the transfer portal as much because I think there's a big problem with it. Every single year, it seems like every team is going to have a new quarterback with the transfer portal. I think this year is the most quarterbacks entered the transfer portal in 1 year in like college football history.
That is correct.
And like over 100 teams will have brand new quarterbacks next season because of the transfer portal. That's just too much for these schools that are, investing so much time into certain players and then they just leave, whether they're in their third or fourth year. I think you need to put a little bit of a cap on that. Maybe after your third year, you can't move on to another school or something like that, or maybe after. So that's got to be. I have a problem with the same as you, NIL. Maybe crack down on it a little bit more so they're not spending so much. But the transfer portal, I feel like, is the worst it's getting out of hand there.
Okay.
It's the Wild West, but I would say it adds another excitement. It's like transfer portal season. Like it's a little extra something.
I mean, I love it. Yeah, absolutely. I love the fact that it goes on like that. But I mean, no, I agree with you, Scotty. Obviously, all the transferring and everything, jumping around back and forth. There's a lot of it.
It's frustrating. But there's been centuries. I'm not centuries, but it's just been a long time of just NCAA just cooking up students.
Yeah.
So just making a ton of money off of the students.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
For lack of a better word, revenge. I don't know until he figured something out.
In a sense, in a way. I mean, the biggest thing, the biggest part on it is, especially when it comes to the players, is that you've got a lot of guys who I think go to a school because of the prestige and the name and all that stuff. The problem is that I think they don't see past that because they're very young. They see Alabama, you want to go to Alabama. Well, if you're a four-star offensive tackle or center or whatever, you go to Alabama, well, there's a bunch of 5- and 4-star kids already there and some 3-stars that have probably built themselves into the team. So you're going to have to try and fight your way out. Now, for some guys, they're willing to stay and fight and see if they can, do all that. But I like the fact the transfer portal kind of opens it up and says, okay, look, you didn't start at Alabama, but if you transfer and go to another school, now you have the opportunity to be able to kind of build yourself up. And I like that. Because, how many quarterbacks get shoved down on a list where you say, look at Oregon State, right? Aiden Childs is a very talented quarterback that now is going to Michigan State. Had he stayed at Oregon State and the system had stayed the same, he probably would have been the starter, sure, but that's not a guarantee, obviously. You go to Michigan State now following your coach. Well, he picked you because you're the quarterback. You're going to probably be the starter. He's clearly got the talent to be able to do it. We will see now if he can actually bring that to the table, but who knows, right? Arch Manning is doing that because that's the Manning way, right? You pick a school, you stay at a school, you work hard, and he's going to get a shot eventually. But not everybody's Manning. Manning's got a name, and that's the difference, is that he's got a name that carries. Everybody else is somebody you have to learn about. And you don't get to learn about a lot of these guys when they're 5th on the depth chart. That's the problem.
My problem is just with the guys like Kyle McCord, who's started at Ohio State the whole season, and now he's on a different team. Guys like that are leaving as they are the starter, and they're just leaving.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there might have been some behind-the-scenes conversations like, hey, you're going to be in a competition next year, or hey, we're not going to start you next season. Mm-hmm. That's different, but when it looks like everything's fine,
how does that take
I got
away
a problem
from
with
your
that.
viewing experience for college football? I don't see better players, but going to another team, I don't see how that affects anything. It doesn't affect.
He's already at Ohio State, though.
Okay.
He's already at Ohio State.
That's cool.
Where else is he going to go to?
No, I understand what you're saying.
Imagine if Tim Tebow left Florida, or Lamar Jackson left Louisville, or
right.
Those top guys. Matt Leinart left USC for his to come back for his 4th season.
Sure, yeah.
Why?
I guess it takes away from the idea of like your school becoming like a legacy or something like that. You see Alabama as more like a business as opposed to like your alma mater, something like you want to take home to.
Well, and
maybe it becomes more of that sense, but
Yeah.
it's just it should always be the benefit of the student athlete, and I still think this is the case right here. So
yeah, no, I mean, listen, Scotty, I hear what you're saying, and I even can see what you're saying too. It's just, I mean, I'm kind of with Nick though. Like for me, like if it doesn't it doesn't ruin college football really. It only, I think, I mean, Kyle McCord going to Syracuse. What if Syracuse is really competitive next year? That just makes the ACC, I think, a little bit more fun to watch, right? I mean, if anything, it's giving more competition potentially. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but what if it does, right? What if he is like some sort of X factor for them? What if he has some sort of miracle season? Because at Ohio State,
also the SEC isn't so top heavy and the Big Ten.
yeah, exactly. I mean, at Ohio State, he's in a run-first offense where he's passing every once in a while, and he was using one target really out of everybody, and that target's gone now. Like now you go to Syracuse, now you may be in a different offense where he can open it up, and maybe he has 4,500 yards and 40 touchdowns. Who knows, right? Who knows? He's taking a gamble as much as everybody else is taking the gamble then of watching to see if Syracuse is actually good or not. Because they end up going 2-10, right? Obviously the move wasn't great, especially if he plays bad. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to ruin anything for college football. If anything, it's just going to help advance it. You know, I understand what you're saying. And listen, I also think, too, yeah, for a lot of us that see players that our schools recruit and stuff, it sucks to see them leave and everything. Like, I hate seeing the guys leave LSU at the same time, though. You know there's going to be another crop of guys coming in eventually. And the hope is that maybe they'll be better, they'll take over, they'll turn it over, and they'll be the ones that can make those changes. So,
like, perfect example. Trevor Etienne.
of course,
Why
yeah.
are you leaving Florida? You were the starting running back. You know, Florida had a good season. They're going to come back stronger next season. They're bringing in really good recruits. They didn't bring in a running back that's going to start over you. Why are you leaving?
Who cares? He's winning on my fantasy team. I can care where he played college.
Not Travis.
I said Travis Etienne.
No, he said Trevor.
Oh,
Trevor.
my bad. Okay.
Well,
I don't know.
Trevor Etienne, I think,
I'm
is
dumb.
Trevor. Yeah, well, it's fine. Trevor Etienne, which is Travis Etienne's younger brother. Trevor Etienne, I think, is going to Georgia because he sees the possibilities of what Georgia can bring him. Right. Florida certainly brings you notoriety. Yes, don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing your
Pierce,
school.
baby.
Florida fan also pointing out Florida problems.
Yeah, right. Of course.
Kind of a little bit. I don't know.
It's Trevor Etienne, I think, sees Georgia and says, look, they still have national championship opportunities. It's a chance for me to – because they're going to be on national TV, of course, just like Florida is. But everyone's going to follow to see what Georgia does, right? They're going to see that team. They're going to look at them. And they have a national championship aspiration still sitting in front of them.
Yeah, but he's probably not going to start there. There's 2 other running backs he's competing with.
I
for this
don't know,
season.
man. He has a good opportunity, I think. The Georgia Bulldogs running back situation is a little murky right now.
Okay, yeah, but also, if he stays at Florida, Florida lost Graham Mertz, so you don't have your veteran quarterback for next season. They're going to depend on the running game. He could have had an amazing season in Florida.
I mean, Montel Johnson can still do it too, so
No.
it's just have faith.
It's
Have
guys
faith,
like that-
Scotty. Have
it's guys
faith.
like that, like, I just don't understand why you're transferring.
Well, again, it could be money, it's opportunity, it's prestige. He wants to up himself in the draft. It's a multitude of things, I think. But who knows, right? We don't. Unless you have contact with him. I mean, I don't. But my guess is the money came in, the prestige is there. You put a ring on that finger, and you're the running back of that team. You got a good shot of being drafted. I would say pretty high, especially his skill set too. He's pretty talented. But thank you for the question. We appreciate it. All right, next one we've got. This one was good. This came from Sarah. Sarah is from Indianapolis. Sarah asked us the question. She says, I'm a basketball fan myself. I play basketball, and obviously I'm a huge Caitlin Clark fan. I love watching her play. She's an amazing player, and I think she may be the greatest women's college basketball player I've ever seen. My question to you is, though, do you think Caitlin Clark is making a big step forward for not just women's college basketball or women's basketball, but women's sports as a whole, or is this potentially, you think, just a flash in the pan? I honestly think she could be a step forward. I do. I don't really necessarily agree with her being compared to Pete Marinovich because the game is different. She is the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I basketball history. That's fair to say. It's just the game is different between women's and men's. It's not taking anything away from her accomplishment. It's still a great accomplishment. But I do think she can be the starring role of where the game can go, right? women's sports has taken, I think, some big dramatic leaps over the last few years. It's been hard because they've only been around now for like the last 30 years in a professional manner, right? And for many of them, it's hard to, for some reason, it's hard to sponsor them because sponsors think there's not enough interest in them. There's interest in them. It's just, if you have to be able to help them in some kind of way too, and they have to also be able to put better product on the field and on the court. I think Caitlin Clark's amazing. I think she is one of the best I've ever seen in college, men or women's for sure. But I do think she can be a game changer for not just women's college basketball, for the WNBA too. She's going to be the number 1 pick. She's got a great shot. She's one of the best shooters we've seen. And she's not the first, but she's the first, I would say, of a new generation of young women who are going to come into the league and I think help to start moving the WNBA in a direction where sponsors will want to put their names to things. They will want to put these women in commercials, right? They do want to sell them. Because along with her will come people like Paige Buchers, Angel Reese, Juju Watkins, who's a freshman right now at USC, who, I mean, right now, if she wanted to come out and in the draft, she easily could, but she's probably going to be staying a little bit longer. I mean, there's some really talented women in the college basketball right now that can drive it. So for me, I don't think it's just Caitlin Clark. I think she is certainly going to be the figurehead, right? She's going to be kind of that Magic Johnson / Larry Bird, Michael Jordan type that's like, this is the anointed one for the league. This is the person we will put on all the promotion stuff. She will sell our game. She will sell out arenas. People want to come see her play. She is what you want to come see. And then the rest will soon follow, right? I mean, I love Sabrina Ionescu. I have watched games because she plays, and she plays fantastic. I think she's a great player. I mean, she almost beat Steph going cold in the three-point contest against her. That's crazy. I mean, if Steph misses a couple shots, game over. That belt's going to Sabrina Ionescu. So I love the fact that Caitlin Clark's been a driver, but I think there's so many more young women that are out there that are going to help drive the sport forward even more so. But just remember, folks, it's going to take a while because the NBA didn't happen overnight. It took 70 years to get there, right? I mean, it didn't become popular until Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and then obviously Michael Jordan pops in and everything starts to go international, right? Women's came around in the 90s. The WNBA is here, yes, but it needs more time to grow.
I honestly think it's starting to grow, though. The talent in female basketball has grown tremendously in that 30 years.
Absolutely.
As far as the competitiveness, the drive, the agility, even the physical traits are starting to become better. So I don't think, like you say, it took 60, 70 years for the NBA to get there.
Yeah.
And the WNBA is following suit. They just need a little more excitement in their game.
Exactly.
And I think they'll be right there.
Yeah, no, and listen, there's plenty of young women coming through the ranks that are freshmen, sophomores. I've even seen I've looked at the Illinois, doing my own recruiting, helping these young women out in Illinois, trying to get them recruited, talking with the parents and everything. You watch their highlight tapes. There's a lot of talented girls right now that are going to come through the college ranks right now, I can tell you. And they're going to help propel the game to the next level. So
I wanted to give you a shout out for that too. I saw you did some work for somebody, and they end up getting
one of
what excellent job you're doing.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
I'm very happy for I've been helping her since she was a freshman. So, and she is currently right now going into her senior year. So she just got her first call from a D1 school. I'm very happy for her. I'm very, very happy for you, Sarah Abdul. Congratulations. I hope that we're going to try and get you that offer. We're going to try and get you that offer and many more. She's a great player. I really am happy for her. And honestly, she's one of the many that I've seen that just they go out there and they ball. I know it's a different sport than the men's. I know, folks. I know misogynists out there are going to bleed their hearts out for that stuff. Yeah, of course. Who cares? Who cares? They play basketball. They play good basketball. And honestly, the way that the NBA has been going now, the way that three-point shooting's going, you're going to see a lot of these women hitting. I mean, Caitlin Clark's hitting shots from half court. I seen Juju Watkins hit shots from half court. She's killing it for USC right now. She's probably going to lead that team to a national championship, I feel like. And Angel Reese is a dominator. Unbelievable competitor.
I just think Caitlin's going to a weird situation. She's probably going to go to Indiana.
Yeah.
They got a good team. They got a couple, girls there, but I kind of want Chicago to trade up. I think putting her in a big market would help grow the sport a lot. LA's at number 2. I think LA can offer something. Chicago's at number 3. I think they should maybe try to trade up with Indiana.
They traded Kalia Copper for, which
Yeah.
that broke my heart because she's a great player. She is.
What are the odds saying? I know you already looked up the under and over.
Oh, yeah, I love watching the WNBA, strictly for betting reasons. Caitlin Clark is going to average like 32 points a game. It's
Oh,
gonna be
easily.
great.
Easily. Well, and the problem is that I was really excited when the Sky, I know it's weird to say, when the Sky got the 3rd overall pick because I really like Paige Buchers. I like her a lot. At UConn, I think she is one of the most dominant point guards I've ever seen. And she's staying another year, and that makes me upset.
She's going to a team that will fit her, though. There's not much scoring on Indiana. They're like, they don't got much scoring.
Well, they need a
especially
lot.
Level scoring,
Yeah.
so that her going there is actually going to fit pretty well.
Absolutely.
Jack suggested something just to bring up the excitement on the idea, the potential of highlights. Should they lower the rim to 9 feet?
I'm honestly, I know that.
It'll come off as a sense of like, it's got to be equal. 10
Right.
feet, 10 foot for the men and the women, but
The line's
the
already
idea of
in.
just like getting some highlights and getting some dunks just to put eyeballs on.
No,
it,
yeah,
not a bad idea.
I don't see a problem with that, honestly. I know there's gonna be backlash on that maybe, and I understand that, but
But like I said, that
To
was
ha-
Jack's suggestion.
Right.
It's not the worst. At least
No.
like it got the wheels turning for me a little bit, where I'm like,
Right.
somewhat paying attention, but that would really put my ass in
Yeah.
the seat.
to help the game grow, to put more, like you said, more highlights out there, I think it's something you have to consider. I mean, be it 9 feet or 10 feet, however you want to do it, put it at a level where you can get more of those big moments, right? Because you see the big shots in college basketball all the time, women's college basketball. You see them even in the WNBA, but unless you're Brittany Griner or many of the other women out there that are over 6'7" and over, I would say, you're not really dunking the ball, and that's the problem. So I agree. I think lowering the rim, it just makes the game more competitive, more scoring. People love more scoring. Offense is king right now. I have no problem with that. I know people will, but I have no problem with that. And then maybe as the game grows, maybe we readjust things, right? Because as athletes will continue to grow, get stronger, get bigger. Look at the men. There's 7'2" guys running around. There's a 7'4" guy right now running around doing everything.
Sham God.
Who's going to win Defensive Player of the Year and Rookie of the Year? I'm going to bank on that.
He's not going to win Defensive Player of the Year, and it's so sad.
He'll get
I
it
don't
next
think
year.
he
He
will.
gonna beef
They're
up a
going to
little
give it to
bit.
Rudy.
He should.
He
He's
should win it,
incredible.
but they're going to give it to Rudy.
I
You
love
gotta give it to Rudy.
I love Victor Wembanyama. I'm
They're
sorry.
Gonna give it to Rudy
I know they're going to give it to
He'll get
Rudy. I know. I just
Rudy Gogert's winning the
Rudy Yogurt.
NBA Defensive Player of the Year. Also, like the WNBA, you already got a smaller ball, free 3-point lines, not to the NBA distance.
yeah.
Just
Drop the
lower the
rim.
rim.
Drop
Yeah.
the rim.
I have no problem with it personally myself. If you want to send the hate speech again, that's xbsportsofficial@gmail.com. And thank you for watching. We appreciate all the views. All right.
Wow, for the brand.
Hey, you watch, you hate, but you watch. So why do you watch if you hate? Just ask yourself that question.
They hate us because they ain't
Hate
us.
us because they ain't us.
You know what? That's the first thing that I'll actually give Scotty props on. He did it, folks. He
Thanks,
still
James
made
Franco.
my blood pressure is still up from you, but
Thanks, James Franco.
yeah, exactly. All right, let's get into some more kind of more open dialogue real quick, and then we'll get out of here. So we got a question. This came from, he's a high school dude. This came from Mark. Mark is from St. Louis. He hold on, let me pop it up here real quick because my screen just went on me. There we go. So Mark asked the question. He said, guys, I've been playing baseball, basketball, and I've even been playing football now for a while, but honestly, I'm starting to lose my desire, my love for it. And I'm just kind of starting to wonder exactly if, what should I do about it? Is there something where I can kick myself into a drive, or should I maybe just abandon sports completely? I'm kind of at a conundrum. My parents are kind of up and down on the thing. My dad wants me to stay in sports. My mother kind of wants me to stay in sports too. But I'm trying to figure out exactly what would be best for me. What do you think I should do? I'm just asking because I'm trying to get a consent. Wow, he's good word. Consensus report about what I should do. So
It's a big word for me.
Big word.
big word, man.
It's a big word for me.
Sports
Maybe you
might
should go
not
into
be
politics,
but,
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
You might have a career in communication.
I'll say it first for me. Honestly, if you don't have the interest in sports anymore, if that is something that I would honestly, if you want to explore it a little bit farther, go ahead. But if you feel like it is fading away, and you are picking up other interests that are now catching you more and more, you can just stop doing sports, man. It's okay. It's okay. Like for me personally, I played sports my whole life, and at some point, I came into college. I had a football scholarship partial, and it stopped being fun for me. Now, granted, the school was not the good fit for me, but football became more of a job and less of a sport, and it was not fun. So once that happened for me, I kind of figured I was done. On top of the fact that I also got injured too. I got my first actual concussion that is on the only one I have on mark, which I know it's probably not the only one I ever got. I know that for yeah, I know that for a guaranteed fact. I've probably gotten way more. I've seen stars and all kinds of stuff, but that kind of came to the point where like, okay, I've got this concussion. I'm not having fun. This is a job more than anything. The school isn't a good fit for me. I was just in a bad spot, so I just said, you know what? I'm just going to walk away from this. And it was tough because it's an expensive school. It was a lot of money I was leaving on the table for that. But honestly, at the end of the day, I probably wouldn't be here if I would have kept trying to follow through with that. And I'd probably be way more broken, body-wise and maybe even emotionally and possibly spiritually-wise, which I'm not a very spiritual person, but even that still, I would think I would be broken on that too. So for me, it's always about follow your passion. You're passionate about something, if it's music, if it's art, if it's movies, if it's whatever. Skateboarding, fixing cars, parasailing, I don't care what it is. If you're passionate about it, my distinct is do it. Just do it. If you're losing the passion for something, it's probably because of something inside of you saying you don't love it as much as you used to. And if you keep feeling that, if it keeps coming back to you, I think that's the moment where you say, it's time to move on, do something else. And do something that you love. Because if you do something that you love, it's not work. It's what you love to do.
Would you say the dude's from St. Louis?
Yeah, St. Louis.
Yeah, move here.
He's in
and
high
come
school
to,
kid.
He's in high school.
Yeah, move here after college and come to Illinois Media School.
Your time is your most valuable thing, honestly. So
Yes.
if you come across a point where you're not passionate about it, drop it. However, I would counter it by saying being on a team, that is like the best memories for me. I mean,
Absolutely.
having that like brotherhood, having that support group.
Common drive.
You can find it anywhere. Of course, you can find a new hobby and find that same amount of group of people. But never have I found that being able to replicate that outside of like being on a football team with all my boys. Like I still talk to all those guys today. Like that's
Same.
the type of thing that it is today. So I can.
I got
I can see how, like I said, might be losing your passion. It could be as much as maybe you just gotta take a break. You gotta take a small break and really just kind of reassess things. That could be. I understand again. Might not have the time for it. Like you said, there's expenses that go into it. You're in high school. A lot of things are going on all at once. And, I wouldn't discourage going away from the sport just because I love sports in general. But really just take the time, reassess the pros and cons of everything. And like I said, the benefits of being on a team are always. I felt like outweigh anything else because if I was off of a team, I'd probably end up doing something stupid. I was already doing dumb things to begin with when I was on a football team or just involved in sports. But yeah, I'll wrap it up just by saying just take the time to really pull back and assess it because it can be either way, but both could be beneficial.
Well said. Absolutely.
And then you could be like me. I'm like, I think every week about the time that I used to play hockey. I used to love playing hockey, and I miss it so much. When I aged out, I was broken because I couldn't play anymore. I hated it because the league wouldn't let me play anymore, and I was so sad about it, and I hated it.
Yeah.
And I still think about going back and playing hockey because that's what I love doing. Then.
Yeah.
And when I couldn't play baseball anymore because I moved to high school, and I didn't really want to play high school baseball. I was like. I felt so bad about leaving something that I already have put so much time into it. So I was just more driven to do this kind of stuff, talk about it more, and so that kind of filled the void for me.
That's where I was. Like after sports, I was trying to fill the void, and I was at a point where I was gonna quit school and just work, because I was so down and out on COD. That's where I went for school, and I was like, yeah, grades are failing. I'm just gonna drop out of school, just go work whatever job I can get. Found my passion though, and that's the thing. found something that worked for me.
I think that's the key. Like, you know, sometimes we outgrow things. Like, depending on how long he's been playing that sport, it might be, like you were saying, his spirit or his soul might be calling him to do something else.
Yeah.
I think it's very important that you find exactly what you want to do. The younger you find out your passions, the easier your adult life will be because you're able to groom your life toward those passions. And like Andrew was just saying, your work will never be work. It'll always be fun because it's a passion. So try to look to replace that, you know, that team camaraderie thing. I think that's the only thing your parents are concerned about is extracurricular activities. So if you can find something to be productive in the new field you're going to, I'm sure they'll support you just as strongly as they supported you for sports, and you'll feel better and be able to motivate yourself because you're doing something that you actually like. And by you being so young, you can always still go back to sports, you know what I mean, for the health, the benefits, and the possible, you know, scholarships or whatever.
Absolutely.
But, you know, there's nothing wrong with an educational scholarship as well, or, you know, whatever your passion may be, you know, your calling to help change the world. So focus on you, man. You got the whole world in front of you. You're young, you're in high school. I'm pretty sure a lot of us would have did some things differently then. Now's the time to hone in on what you love to do. Find out what you love to do and figure out how to convert that into something that can be a commodity that you can not only get paid for, but you can get fulfillment from.
Absolutely. Well said, Bijan. Well said, man. And
My neck almost hurts from nodding.
no, honestly, Mark, I mean, you know, whatever you decide to do, man, just make sure that it's something that you love to do. Because I can tell you right now, like, I did sports, yes, and I don't have a giant group of friends from sports, I can tell you that right now, but I've got a core of like 6 guys I still talk to from my football team, and those dudes will be at my wedding, at my anniversaries, at my birthday parties, and probably at my funeral if I die before them. We've placed a bet actually on who's going first. Jeez. How morbid is that?
Dark, man.
Seriously.
Plus 410 on it.
But that's the thing.
I knew you was
Yeah.
a kid, yeah. You're like, oh, we do that too.
Right. But that's the thing. Like, for me, I've got pockets of friends everywhere and stuff like this group right here, man. I can tell you right now, this is an amazing group of friends I've got here. Obviously, not everybody's here and stuff, but, like, you know, from that, I found passion. We've connected through that passion, be it if it's sports or if it's media or something like that. Like, we've got that connection, and I'm forever thankful for being able to meet them because I know we've had a great journey thus far. We've got many more journeys. We've got a great journey potentially coming up right now. We got one. We can't announce it just yet. But we got something on the horizon potentially that could be just a phenomenal opportunity, not just for us, but for everybody here. And we're hoping that that's the thing that skyrockets us. So, Mark, man, whatever it is you want to do, man, do it. Do what you love. Do what you want. Like Nick said, though, assess things. Pull back. Take time off. Relax. In the email, you kind of gave me a little bit more detail. You said you like comics and you like drawing and you like writing. There you go, man.
Super rich and not hurt.
There you go.
You could be just chilling.
Absolutely. And by the way, if you need that stuff animated, we got some people that know how to animate in here, and I know some voiceover people that are looking for some work. One man in back there in particular, and another man in back there in particular too.
You know,
Yeah.
He's looking for some voiceover work.
We'll get you the resumes, I promise you.
He was at a dating show last night.
That's
Wasn't a contestant for some reason.
Oh, did you meet the 2 people that
like,
Did you meet those 2 people that finally emailed us? Did you meet any of them?
No, they didn't slide in my DM.
Will you people please just send us a picture so we can get them to Julia's already too? Jeez, I can't keep. I'm done asking now, and we're done. Send it or don't. I don't know what to tell you. Also, don't
You say it's a command now.
message this man directly already, will you?
Send it or don't.
Do it.
Message
do it
this
now.
man directly, will you? Stop using me as the third person love connection.
This is the love shack.
Thank you for the question, Mark. All right. Last question we got. This comes from Damien. Damien's from here in Chicago. He said, I've just been watching you guys recently, and it's awesome. I think you guys are doing a great job. I love the stupid questions you guys have been getting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fished in sleep.
He said, if you want, I got a few in the box for you I can ask. Sure. Go for it, man. But he said, I just got to ask you guys, what's something that I may not know about you that may surprise people if you told them about yourself? He said, keep it within the legal release. He said, just for clarification, you don't have to say it if it's going to get you in trouble with the law.
Okay.
I can go first if anybody wants to. I can start it off.
Go ahead.
So, I don't know if anybody here back knows this. One does, but she left already. So, from the time I was in 4th grade all the way through college, I played the trumpet, and I was in a total of 5 bands, 2 jazz and 3 ska bands.
Nice.
Yes. Started the first band when we were 13, and we got our first gig through our music teacher, actually, as a jazz band. We did not get paid, but we got our name out there. Yeah, well, of course, we're 13, of course.
Lab hours.
Yeah, so essentially, more or less, it was something like that, yeah. It's like extracurricular, extra credit, which, I mean, for band, it meant nothing because we were already getting A's.
Right.
After that, we got into high school. I was a part of a little jazz band at that point, and then a bunch of us kind of scattered off and decided we were going to do our own band, and we were like a punk rock ska band kind of. It was weird. But then 2 people in that band started dating, so we broke up as a band, and then a bunch of us got back together.
Yoko Ono?
Yeah, we got
Yoko Ono.
yeah, we got Yoko Ono, and then a bunch of us got back together to form another ska band, and we actually had a few gigs in like if you know the fests that happen around in Illinois and around in these parts. There's little fests that happen. We actually had a chance to be one of the headliners for one of the big bands that do it. So if you ever saw us when we were about 17 years old, so that would be 2009, 2010, and you saw a bunch of kids up there with basses and guitars and a couple horns and a trombone. That was us.
What was the name? What was the band name?
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Nah, it was dumb. It was so dumb. It was God.
Spit it out.
Get it out.
It was called Ace of Chili.
Yeah.
Ace of Chili was what it was
Cool,
called.
though. It's like Ace of Base.
Yeah, that was kind of what we were banking on. Like, we were like, because we were trying to figure out if we were rock, and then we were like, no, we're more ska. So it was like, well, what's ska kind of like? And somebody pointed out Chili. Now, keep this in mind.
Put out the chili peppers and
Yeah, keep this in mind. This was during time when things were happening. So,
I'll leave that there.
yeah, let's leave it there.
while things were happening.
Yeah, that was the name of the band. Another one was
Seeing sounds and tasting colors type deal.
yeah, kind of. Another one of the band names we had for our ska bands was Four Waves of Happiness.
Okay.
So that was one of the other ones. And then the last one that we had, which was basically just like 5 of us, one on drums, one on bass, one on guitar, a trombone, and a horn. It was just basically us playing. We just call the 5 dudes just chilling. It was like we just gave up
Yes.
because we only played together for like a month, and then we're just like, you know what? I think we're all done with this.
Then 5 guys came and stole y'all rhythm. It was like,
Yeah.
you
By the way,
got a
I'm still
restaurant,
cool with
5
those.
guys.
I'm still cool with all those people, so which is great. I mean, that's the thing. So
Except for the people that started dating.
yeah, exactly. Well, they ended up actually funny story. I'm not gonna say their names, but if they watch this, sorry. They ended up dating. They got married, and then they got divorced, and then they remarried, and then they got divorced again. So if that gives you, by the way, that happened all at
Punk rock.
that started when they were 18, fresh out of high school, and
That's crazy.
till now. So yeah, it's been wild. It's been wild.
I wonder how many bands they broke up.
Well, they had a couple more they went to, and I guess they were known as the Fighters, as in they fought constantly. So, but yeah, that's a little something for everybody to know out there. Trumpet is still something I'm still passionate about. I still play it to this day. I got my cousin starting to learn how to play it, so I was, not to brag, I was always first chair on my band and everything. And anybody that's wondering, favorite songs are My Funny Valentine by Miles Davis, who's maybe I think the greatest trumpet player of all time. And other than that, it would be probably Bossa Nova by Quincy Jones. Probably one of my favorite songs to ever play. So, and I can also play that on the piano too. So music was once going to be my passion.
We finna lock you in the instrument room.
Hey man, I learned for me it's trumpet, piano, bass guitar, string guitar. Although I haven't played those in years now. Trombone, and I did learn how to play the flute for a little while.
Yeah.
But that was because I was.
You get a drum set in. Get a drum
What's
set
up?
in here.
Not Lizzo.
Well, I actually learned how to play the piccolo. It's a little small flute, mostly because Dragon Ball Z. By the way, shout out to the artist, passed away. Much love to that man.
Moment of silence.
Absolutely,
Say grace.
yes. We're powering up our key for you, my man,
Yeah.
all the way. But yeah, I just learned that thing because I was trying to impress a girl too. So I can't lie. I mean, I was like, oh, you need somebody to learn how to play piccolo? Oh, what's next to her? How you doing?
I got it.
How do we play this thing? Oh, please teach me. It did not work out. I did not work out at all.
Y'all ever watch the show because somebody said they was watching it? Yeah. What was that? I think the show for me, I watched 13 Reasons Why. I was just like, oh, have you started? It's such a great show. I was like, yeah, lie my ass off.
I think we've all definitely done that for sure. We've all definitely had that, like, oh yeah, I've watched that show. I don't know what he's talking about.
Bitch, watch the shit out of that.
You ask me anything about Law and Order, I'll just be like, oh yeah, I know that episode. I don't know what's he talking about. Yeah, the guy got arrested and then he got guilty. Yeah, whatever.
Start singing the theme song. Do, do, do.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like, oh yeah, it's got such a dope theme song, and that's all I know. I can't tell you anymore.
Y'all are no good.
Oh man. Anybody else? Anything that would surprise
I'll
us?
send yours. If you got a drum set going, I can add. We can play a little band. We'll get something together. A little IMS,
IMS gig?
a little IMS super group.
Yeah.
Piggybacking off of your story.
Mhm.
I didn't have a band. I wasn't that cool. But my
Trust me, we weren't either. We were not either. I can tell you that right now. Just because we were in a band did not mean we were the cool kids. We were definitely the kids that were like, okay, we're in a garage. What are we going to do? Hey, how about a band? Why not?
but yeah.
Bands get all the girls. Yeah, let's be a band then.
We did kind of think that. It did not work. It did not
We've been
work.
rocking out in the garage for all week. Nobody stopped by.
Can someone else pretend to be the girl?
It's like the kid that plays basketball and he sees the cars coming by in his driveway and he thinks he's a scout, so he starts
Trying to act
calling out
crazy.
Steph Curry. Like that's what they're doing. They start playing Stairway to Heaven whenever they see a car drive by.
I'm pretty sure the only women that actually ever came around us when we were playing in the garage as a band was probably the neighbor's wife or whatever. That was just like, will you shut up? Turn that noise off. Yeah.
Good band name, the MILF Magnets.
Oh, that's kind
We
of
should have.
tough, though.
We should have.
That was
Honestly.
a good band name.
That's kind of tough.
For a ska band, yeah, that gets that.
Yeah, absolutely. That would have been fantastic.
Ska bands get like the name of them, so they get away with anything.
Yeah, exactly. I can name myself Hippo and it works. Come on. Anybody else? Anything?
I got a long
Oh,
song.
whoa. Ladies, listen closely.
Nah, I can touch my nose with my tongue. It like make it be like really white and shit. I can pick my nose with my tongue. Stop going into the notebook! Stop going into the notebook!
For those that don't know,
Write $40 on this one.
Oh my god.
Put a sale sign over his head while he's talking. $40 specials.
for those that don't know,
40!
if you want to know, I can just put this up to the screen real quick. I'm not gonna put up fully. This
Got
is a
points.
strike counter. I don't know if we can get that. This is a strike counter.
Yeah, what's this?
Scotty is currently at 127.
You at how? I was at 105 before the show started.
You made a stupid joke and I counted it to 20.
This is
It was
so
worth.
stupid.
It was worth 20.
That's crazy.
Hot for the review. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, it's. I just
Place
want
stands.
I just want everybody to know, as much as we pick on Scotty, we do love him. We do appreciate everything you do,
Yes,
man.
we
So
do.
thank you. Thank you
Very
so much,
much
man.
so.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
no, don't do that to them. You do that to them. Show the audience. Send them your cash app. You might get lucky.
At least I come to cash out.
Okay, you know what?
Again.
Give him some more points. You just earned 50 more, buddy.
Oh, damn.
And put it in your nostril and pull the booger out. Oh, he did it. Oh, he did it.
Disgusting.
He did the death pop.
Oh, I finally got one.
Okay, that's true. Andrew's gonna need a new book.
Oh,
He just got about. He got 5 more for that.
Andrew, that's a talent, my guy. His head's going back. He's making fun of my deformities.
I would just close your mouth.
Anything else you want to say, Scotty? I'm trying to end the show.
Yeah.
We can keep going.
Nah, I'm good in it.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'll just keep it open just in case.
Wrap it up, B.
All right, we gotta get out of here.
Something stupid.
Yeah, exactly. All right, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening again. Thank you guys all so much for the questions. We really do appreciate it. Again, be it sports, be it anything of the random, of course, as always, you can send it to xbsportsofficial@gmail.com. We love hearing from you guys. We love getting the information from you guys. We appreciate it. Thank you all so much for the good and the bad, of course, too. We always appreciate the views, and we always appreciate the love and the hatred at the same time. And that's going to do it for our show. Again, thank you all so much for watching as well. To the crew in the back, thank you guys all so much. Even the one who made my blood boil today. Thank you guys.
Look up, say cheese.
It was a lot of fun today, obviously. I want to make sure we had some fun today because obviously I got to skedaddle out of here as we all do. But, guys, real quick, let the people know where they can find you, listen to you, see you, get your stuff, all that good stuff, amigos. Whoever wants to kick it off.
Well, I'm Bajorn the Baron. You can catch me at all social media platforms at Bajorn the Baron. It's BJORNDABARON on all streaming platforms. Catch me on Twin Talk on Tuesdays from 4 to 5, live on Twitch and the IMS Twitch station with my brother back there, Juju the Witch Doctor. And that's up for us. For me.
All righty.
You guys can find going after pass them, figure out how to pass them around.
We'll get this right at some point. We'll get it right.
for real.
We'll get it right.
You guys can follow me at Juju the Gemini.
There you go.
Stop playing with me. on Insta at Juju.
Whoever's asking, here's his stuff. So
Yes.
inbox him.
Send him your
my
photos. Message him.
Jude the Gemini.
I am not Bumble. I'm not Tinder. I'm not any of that. I'm just me. Stop.
Oh God, please stop.
Shaq, baby.
Yeah, y'all can find me at Juju the Gemini on Insta. I'm a stylist. We got videography. If you need any of that, hit me up. Also, you guys can watch us on Fridays
Yes.
from 10 to 11 on Tony Smalls X Big J on Twitch and YouTube. So come check us
Absolutely.
out.
Yes, sir.
Twitch.tv/SportsTownShy, basically every single day, Monday through Friday for Blow the Whistle Monday, Wednesday, Johnson and Combs on Tuesday, and No Substitute for Sports. I do the YouTube side of things and go live there. And then, of course, Bad Karma Wrestling, which you just saw about an hour or two ago right here on the same exact Twitch page. So there you go. Follow. Love ya.
All right, Scotty, what do you
No,
got?
it's ladies first.
Yeah. So if you want to get a special gift for one of your loved ones, I have a lot of heartfelt necklaces with heartfelt messages. You can get that at heartfeltgems.com.
Awesome. There you go, guys.
And then I'm me. I'm an enigma. That's my Twitter, ScottyKO3.
Good word choice.
There's something, all right.
That's a $50 word. That's a $50 word for me. Pitch Talk on Thursdays, 3 o'clock, right after when he's done, and then 4-Star Sports on Tuesdays on Sports on Shy. That's it. I'm an enigma, my guy. I'm me. I'm an enigma. He's going back to the. He's
50
going back
more.
to Raver.
50 more points, buddy.
Free me from.
I'm lost count at this point. Yes, absolutely. And guys, if you want to check me out and the rest of us out, obviously I'm at Boom Crew Captain on Instagram. I'm also at The Fluffy Guru on Twitter as well, so you guys can check me out there. Follow me on all the social media. Also, too, if you guys want to check out any more of our stuff as well, we do have the Facebook page you can definitely go to. I'm not in control of it just yet because David forgot to add me on there as an admin, but we're going to get it back. We're just not going to stream on there anymore. But if you want to catch our stream, it's always YouTube and Twitch. That's youtube.com/xbombsports and twitch.tv/xbombsports, where we are streaming every Friday. Shooting for 12:30 is more of like what we're kind of aiming for. Today we just kind of got backloaded with a few things, but it's okay. We're always hanging around with it. Also, too, make sure to follow us on the social media at XBomb Sports on Instagram and on Twitter. Again, as well as the Facebook page, too. But that's where we're going to be posting more updates and stuff like that, so be on the lookout for that. More photos and things like that to come. Our big announcement will also be made on there as well, also with the Blow the Whistle stuff, too. So be on the lookout for that. We're not exactly sure when we'll be able to announce it, but just be out looking for that kind of stuff. We're going to hopefully get this stuff done soon so we can start building it for you guys, because we're excited with it. It's a great opportunity. We can't wait. I'm very excited for this, and I hope those other companies just do not screw this up for us. But we're thinking positive on this, folks. Other than that, also, too, of course, the email, xbsportsofficial@gmail.com. Send those things there. Also, too, want to just say thank you to everybody who has been donating as well. Real quick out there to the American Cancer Society. Thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate that. I've been getting not a lot of messages, but for the messages that I have been getting, and that's okay. I'm not asking for a lot of messages, but for those of you that have been saying, hey, I donated, I hope everything's going good. My mother's doing okay. She's doing better. It's obviously a fight still the very end, but I just want to say thank you guys for the check-in. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for the donations. You know, I'm donating money myself to the American Cancer Society. Everything we can do to be able to help, it really is appreciated. I really do appreciate it. And also, too, to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, just in memorial of my grandmother, because it was a charity she cared much about. Please, if you have a chance, please be able to donate to that as well. Anything that you can do helps. And thank you again to the people who have been saying they've been able to donate and, you know, giving me the respects and everything for my grandmother. Appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best fans in the world. Honestly, you're the best fans in the world, and we couldn't ask for any better fans. You are awesome. You're amazing, and we love each and every one of you. And we hope that we'll be able to, at some point, be able to all get together, hang out, have some drinks, eat some food, do something fun. So, if not, keep watching us. Keep asking us all kinds of questions. We got plenty of dumb ones. Thank you guys so much. The next person that asks about if fish can sleep underneath the ice, stop giving him ammo. Stop giving him ammo.
Hi.
Okay, we're done. All right, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening. We'll see you guys next week. And as always, much love. Peace out, Boom Crew.